it's me, your girl, Mila Martinico, and welcome to This is the podcast where I don't give you life's best advice, but it's okay-ish. And you know, my friends have lived life, I've lived life, and I love answering your questions. And you know, it really is our job, I think, as women and just as people to help others learn from our mistakes. You know, you ever think about it and you're like, wow, I wish I would have listened. I wish I would have learned. So I'm here. And today's episode is how to date your husband even when you're broke. And if anybody has experience in being broke, it is me. So I have been, oh my God, I have been broke as a joke many times in my life. But you know what? Matt and I have been together through a lot. We just celebrated 15 years of marriage and 18 years of being together, which for being 35, I feel like that's huge, and a very long time to be with one person. I'm not going to say what just came through my mind. It was like, one penis forever. That's me. You know, Matt and I, God, we've been through so much. And so I would love to help you, and I'm here to answer your questions. And so let's get to what you've asked us today. How has dating changed for you over the years? Well, gosh, we went from, I feel like we got married and because of life and circumstances and, you know, living in California, we were broke. And so we started off our marriage with no money, and we were so young, and you know, you just don't really know what you want to be. I was working 2 jobs, Matt was working 2 jobs, and then you know, 4 years later we had Gia, and it was, Matt went through college, and you know, we lived on ramen, and I would spice up ramen. You know, Matt, in our marriage episode, looks back on this fondly. I don't really look back on this fondly because I felt like I got a lot of GI issues from eating so much ramen. You know, we've been through that. We've been through kids not being able to afford to go out, not having the time to go out. Then now we're in this area of our life where our older kids are older. We have financial stability, which is freaking weird. You know, Matt and I were able to go, this is like the bougiest thing we've ever done. And for my birthday last year, we went to Sean Brock's restaurant because I love to watch Chef's Table. And he's one of my top episodes because of him like bringing like farming back, like old like Appalachian stuff. And anyways, that's a whole other thing. So we went and did, like, we had a like $400 dinner for 2 people. And I felt so guilty about it, but also it was like a once in a lifetime thing. And I was like, no, you know, the only thing I regret was that I was pregnant when we did it. So I didn't get to drink the wine pairing because I really wanted to do that. They did make me a good mocktail. But I mean, I feel like we've been through like everything. So dating for us has changed. I think that something that's really cool that we implemented that I would suggest to everybody is we tried to like 2 or 3 times a year take off together and go get a cheap Airbnb that's local and spend 2 days together. You know, save up, get a babysitter, somebody that we trust to come stay with the kids. And it's good for the kids because kids need time away from their parents. And my kids don't have grandparents. If you have grandparents, I'm so freaking jealous. Like, if your kids have grandparents, I'm jealous. And, or good ones, I should say. That gives us such a reconnection. And really, it doesn't have to cost a lot of money. Even if you can't go to an Airbnb and you just do it at home and just kind of like plan it out, you know, pre-make meals and just hang out, Like, that's cool too. So that's how dating has changed for us over the years. You know, we've gone from being dirt poor college students who would like go and walk downtown for free, or I mean, there were times we couldn't even afford beach parking and go to the beach. So we would have to like go park it at his dad's house, who was like a mile away from the beach, and like walk to the beach. But we always tried to make some kind of priority in time. Question number 2, how do I spend time intentionally with my husband even when we don't have the resources like babysitters, money, family, etc.? Yeah, girl. I love to put our kids to bed and have time where Matt and I watch trash. Right now he's watching this stupid show called The 100. Do I know what's going on in this show? Absolutely not. Okay, but I'm usually reading a book and holding his hand. Or he's laying in my lap and I'm reading a book and I'm scratching his head, you know, and I will go and I will make us like a tray of like, you know, popcorn and dark chocolate and like strawberries and like just stuff like that. And we will sit in bed and, you know, just snack and do that. We tell our kids, like, we get them set up with a movie and we tell them, hey, we're having time together right now. You don't need us. Like, if one of you is dying, come get us. But I mean, you can hear, we're close enough. And we shut the door and we usually have sex and, you know, reconnect that way. And it's so funny too, because let me tell you right now, it's always when you're in the middle of it that a kid's like, I gotta go to the bathroom. You're like, there is a whole other bathroom. And you're just like, why? Right when I'm at the good part. Lord, my kids are gonna be so horrified when they listen to this one day. I don't care. Anyways, your mom and dad need to reconnect. Something cool too that I found is that like we live in the day and age where there's so many cool resources. So there's this app that Matt and I love and it's called Lovewick. It is free and it has questions and like prompts, and then it has like different categories for questions. So there's like finances, sex, marriage, life goals. And it's brought things that I would have never have thought to think about because my brain is so fried from just existing as a person. And it has brought those questions and made us like really think and talk to each other and reconnect. One of the things that I think is the biggest thing that people don't do nowadays as married couples is when whoever comes home, taking 5 minutes when Matt walks in the door and, you know, he's working at the restaurant because I'm home right now. We have 5 minutes and our kids come up, blah, 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 and we're like, Mom and Dad need 5 minutes. 5 minutes. We'll set a freaking timer. I don't care. And I'm like, how did tonight go? How was the restaurant? You know, was there crazy people? Was there somebody trying to throw a meatball at you? Like, who knows, you know? Tell me, like, unload what happened, because I need to be there with you, like, in spirit, in, you know, keep me involved in what you might think is dumb and small is huge to me because it's huge to you, you know? And just having that connection, then I'll be like, well, listen, you know, like the other day, your daughter thought that a termite was a moth. And I was so sick, I told her to make a habitat for this moth, and it escaped and it ended up being a termite that she had found outside. So, you know, and Matt's like, what? I'm like, yeah, his name was Barry. So, you know, just like being you know, and just letting, because I just really feel like if you're not there to listen to the small things, there's somebody else willing to listen to the small things of your spouse. And I would rather have that open communication and talk about that stuff. You guys, I love my husband, but he will go into flipping detail about fixing something. Like, oh yeah, and then I have, this bracket, and if I use this bracket, then I feel like this will open this way, blah, blah, blah. I don't know what the heck he's talking about, but I act like I do. I'm like, you know what? You're so smart. I would have never have thought of that. Yeah, because I don't care. But I care because it's you. And sometimes you gotta like stupid stuff. I don't freaking like Star Wars. I don't like Harry Potter. I don't like Lord of the Rings. Like, I'm like, can I please have like the 12 hours of my life back that have been spent on these movies? But you know what? It means something to my husband, and it's the way he connects with my kids. So I'm sitting here at the dinner table and they're talking about Gollum or whatever, blah, blah, blah. I don't know what the heck they're talking about, but I'm just enjoying being here with them and listening to them, and that they like each other and they're talking. You got to give a little like sacrifice there. I think it's more about being intentional with your time and being intentional with your conversation than having a fancy date night. I would like to know how everybody's on flipping Florida vacations 3 times a year and can't afford that, because like I want to be on that level one day where I'm like, oh yeah, we went on a European cruise. Damn, okay girl, let's go. I'm happy for you. But the closest thing I'm getting to a European cruise is Sunday night dinner that I'm making here. And, a shower. Don't hold yourself. You don't need to have big, fancy, expensive things. Like, that doesn't matter. How many people are out there, with their husbands, whatever, they're taking all these pictures for Instagram, and then behind the scenes, they don't even talk. So it's more about being intentional with your time. That's my own personal feeling. And I also think really fast too, go get coffee together. Like there's so many times I love looking out the window at the restaurant like a creeper and seeing like these, young couples with kids running. Their kids are running feral like animals, and they're just sitting there talking and having coffee together. Small things. That's it. That's like $10. Well, maybe 12. Anyways, you should tip too, 15. So $15, let your kids be free at the park, drink coffee together, reconnect. Okay, last question. What is your favorite date night? I need ideas. Shoot, what is my favorite date night? It's been so long. My favorite date night is a date night I don't have to plan. My God, men, there is something so physically attractive about a man who will go and plan out a date night for you. When my husband says to me, like, hey, like, I got a babysitter. She's coming over, like, we're going to DoorDash the kids Chick-fil-A, whatever, and I'm taking you out. Girl, I don't care if this man takes me to the Sonic Drive-In. The fact that he took time and I don't got to worry about it, that's my favorite date. I'm like, just going to dinner, walking downtown, just being together. Dude, getting in the car and just parking and pretending like, we're young again and like making out. Could you imagine if we got caught by the police though? It's all Mama Mila making out in the park. I'd go on there and be like, I still got it. Like, let me make a statement. Anyways, so I love that. Also, some of my favorite things is the work that we do is so hard, you guys. Like, it's literally 16-hour days. So you're like, it's like being a nurse for 4 days straight. So then we have time off, like the 3 days, but then we also homeschool. We do all the paperwork for the restaurant, like really. So we've decided that Mondays are our Sabbath and the day that we do nothing. We plan nothing for those days, but we try to not plan anything. So Sunday night, I love Sunday nights. Sunday nights is the nights, like I'll go to Costco, I'll go to whatever, and I'll get like Italian meats, cheeses, olives. I'll make a charcuterie, and the kids know, like dad gets home because we clean the restaurant for 3 hours every Sunday. Like, we deep clean it because Matt and I are both psychopaths about the restaurant being clean. And he comes home. I set out his like sweats, his comfy clothes. I have a cocktail waiting for him, and it is not necessarily a date, but our family all gets together, and the girls and I have mocktails. We sit down as a family. We light candles, turn off the lights, and have a candlelight dinner with fancy music. And it is the end of our week. And it is my favorite thing ever. I get to see how hilarious our kids are. Matt gets to come home and decompress, and it starts off the Sabbath like so good. The girls and I, we will go to church, then we come back home. We usually stop at Kroger and get sushi for lunch because that's like their thing. And we clean the house for the Sabbath. I catch up on laundry. Which also, I'm so grateful for this time in my life to be able to do this because I have not done this in 4 years, and it's been so wonderful. But like, we set it up, and let me tell you, that has created such an atmosphere in our home, and it has created such a connection, not only with Matt and I, but with our kids. And he feels so honored as a husband, so like loved, and I don't know. It has created connection between our family, which in turn creates connection with me and him. And so then the next morning we sleep in, and Matt will make me coffee, and he'll come and sit in bed with me, and we'll talk, and the kids will sleep in because we let them sleep in late or stay up late the night before with us because we'll usually watch a movie after. And that's mine and Matt's time. And that is a date that doesn't cost anything because the next morning, here we are, And also, that usually leads to morning fun and then morning coffee, which is the best, morning coffee after morning fun. And then you're not worrying about, we're supposed to do it tonight, but your girl ate a bunch of carbs and now I feel bloated and I'm scared I'm going to fart. So, I'm like, just do it in the morning. But we set it up the night before, and it's beautiful for our family. And, so this was advice. I love you. I love to see you. I love to feed you. I love you when you come in the restaurant. I love seeing you out in public. I love seeing you here and on all the platforms. So please follow me on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and YouTube. Okay, I love you. Tanti Bachi.